are we modeling honesty in our own lives? I got to thinking about this because the other day I had a good example of it happen in my own life. So I was taking my daughter, who's 12, to the orthodontist for her braces appointment. And they told her the last time that she went that she had to wear her rubber bands or she wasn't going to get her braces off at the time that they had planned. And so she was like, yeah, I'm going to wear my rubber bands. And you can see where this is going already. So we go to pick her up. I had said to her too, I was like, you're not really wearing your rubber bands. And I don't feel like begging her to wear her rubber bands. Like, she's got a complaint every time why she doesn't want to. So I was like, fine. And on top of that, I never wore my rubber bands and my teeth are fine. I have an overbite, but who cares? Anyway, so I pick her up for the orthodontist and she has her rubber bands on. And I'm like, oh, I see that you have your rubber bands on for the first time in months, or a month, or however long since your appointment last. And she just gave me a look. And I was like, you're not gonna wear them. This is a farce. What are you doing? And she just kind of smiled and looked at me. And, you know, I think that when I used to go to the dentist or orthodontist, I would try to lie and cover up and act like I had been doing whatever it was I was supposed to be doing. But I said to her, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be completely honest at the orthodontist. So we get there and there's hardly anybody there. Usually it's pretty crowded. And she gets in the chair and they say to her, first off, have you been wearing your rubber bands? and I pipe up and I'm like, you know what? We all need to have a frank conversation about rubber bands. And so she just looks at me and I think she's worried about getting in trouble. But I had told her in the car, I was like, this isn't something you're getting graded on. This isn't something that, you know, we're paying for this and they deserve to know where we stand on it and what's going on in an honest way. And so I just told him straight up, I said, she doesn't want to wear the rubber bands and I don't have it in me to fight that fight. And beyond that, I didn't really wear my rubber bands or my headgear because I had a headgear then. This was like in the 80s. And so I said, you know, this isn't a battle that I want to fight. I've got enough battles with her of like cleaning your room and everything else. I said, so, you know, what are our options if she's not going to wear them? Because we can't just leave these on for years hoping that she'll start wearing them. So what are our other options if she just chooses not to and won't do it? And she just sat there and I thought it was just so good. It felt so good to just come clean. I thought it was a really good thing to model to her and say, you know what, you can just tell the truth because nobody else cares that much. And if they do, they'll get over it. But it's worth it to just tell where you stand on anything. And you know what? They ended up devising a whole plan. They knocked money off the cost. They ended up saying, well, here's what we can do. And you just have to sign a form that says you understand that she could still have an overbite or whatever about the teeth. And on top of that too, I told them my own story. I said, you know, I didn't wear mine and my dad was overpaying. He was over it when it came to paying for the orthodontist. Like, he just basically looked at my teeth and said, her teeth are straight, take them off to the orthodontist. So that was my mentality. So I went ahead and told them that too. I said, this is where I'm coming from. And so what do we do? And anyway, as I said, they devised a whole plan. Now she has a date to get her braces off. She's super excited. She doesn't have to worry about this nagging fear of her rubber bands or not doing it right. Instead, she can just relax. And more importantly, it modeled just full honesty of where you're at. And I'm noticing my own life ways that I try to make things more palatable for people, or it's that people pleaser side of me where I try to make things sound a little better than they are to ease into the truth. And I'm trying to make it a practice to not do that anymore, to let all that go, to just gently say the truth and own whatever that truth is and let the chips fall where they may. And that's been a really interesting practice. So I guess the message with this is to find those spaces where perhaps you're wearing the rubber bands and acting like things are better than they are, when you could really say, hey, here's my truth. Here's where I am on all this. And what can we do? Can we come up with a new system? Can we come up with a new plan? And can you understand where I'm coming from? Because I know if someone said that to me, I would actually appreciate it more and say, thanks, okay, good. I'm glad to know where we stand. I'm not thrilled about it. In some instances, you're not gonna be thrilled about it, or the other person isn't gonna be thrilled. The orthodontist probably isn't thrilled because it's his work, but it's just a fact of the matter. And so can we just find the space to be more honest in those instances? And it feels so freeing. And what a beautiful thing that is. I'm Amy Edwards. Follow me for more.